Red heifers in Israel. Is the Antichrist closer than we think? Charisma, mycharisma.com website. Everybody knows the third temple is tied to the Antichrist. I was trying to be nice, but since you're pushing the matter, I gotta rebuke you and remind you that if you don't obey, Aber Adam Duran, Noach, Moshe Acharon, Melech Shalom Katan, Kohen Katan, Mebashe Tov Shalom, Im Torah Yahaba Yeshua Adonai Doro Duran Maptiah, you die and go to hell. You're false Jews. If you do not obey what God has told Ezekiel, you die and go to hell. You're not real Jews. You're false Jews if you disobey and start sacrifices. Did you start sacrifices with red heifers lately in the past years? Stop doing it. Jesus Christ is the sacrifice, the Lamb of God. Once and for all time. Stop doing it. If you don't obey, you're going to die and go to hell. You're not true Jews. Atem tiye yalad at Bashem Moshiach Ben Adam Yeshua Mashiach Goelenu Kofer Pada. Got it? He's the sacrifice atonement for sins. Got it? Stop clicking the pictures, Ben Shit. It's not going to work. It's not going to help you. Stop clicking pictures. It's not going to work. The Antichrist. They want to do rituals for the Antichrist. This is what the Antichrist wants. He wants the Jews' approval, but they're trying to get God's approval. It's their imagination. God don't give you approval. He said no. Everybody knows that the third temple is tied to the Antichrist, Sheker Moshiach. Sheker Moshiach be Israel. Shall not be. I understand this prophecy, but I have to rebuke it and say no, third temple. No, Ark of the Covenant. No, that's not the covenant. No, God destroyed it. I have to say no. I have to say no. You shall not put it. No, you shall not build it. No, God says no. Do not build a house. No, that's not my house. That's for the Antichrist. You have false Jesus Christ, false Moshiach, Sheker Moshiach. And if you're burning animals, and then you're rejecting Moshiach. Sur Sheker Yisrael, Sur Mino Moshiach. Be Enosh Ma'aseh. Enoshim Ma'asheka Sheker. Your human works are false. Your human effort is false. It's false. It's tied to the Antichrist, Sheker Moshiach. Everybody knows that, except for the Jews, because they're not real Jews, the false Jews, and they don't listen. They're not listening. They're not listening. Osh. Now look what it says. They found 2 black hairs. They found 2 black hairs and they still burned it in a practice ceremony. Wow. So you did a ceremony with a blemished they still did a ceremony with a blemished heifer. They found 2 black hairs on it, and you still did it. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you, these fake Jews, dude, they keep messing everything up. Look at these people. They want to appoint their own Moshiach, Shekhet Moshiach. They want to appoint their own nonsense. And now, false Israel burns a blemished heifer with 2 black hairs. It is reported stop putting that, please. Not important. See what I'm saying? Jezebels, Delilahs. They all think they think they're so important. This one says published date August 7, 2024. False Israel want to practice red heifers ritual. They want to build a new false temple for the Antichrist. They say red heifers needed to build a 3rd temple. Some believe this will herald the arrival of, you know what? I want to read Ezekiel 43. And a vision of Ezekiel and God speaking to Ben Adam Ezekiel. He saw the glory of God come into the temple in the way of the gate. Which faced towards the east. The spirit, he's talking about spiritual something spiritual, and this is 600 years before Jesus. So there was a temple after this. After Ezekiel, there was a temple of animal sacrifices. Just to point out, Herod's temple was 550 years later in BC 20 till AD 70, so probably like 20 plus 70, probably like 90 years it lasted. There was a temple, but he's talking about something spiritual as well. The Spirit lifted him up, brought him into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the temple. Then he heard him speaking to him from the temple, while a man stood behind, and he said to him, Ben Adam Ezekiel, this is the place of my throne. Okay, in the spirit. The Ruach, verse 5, Ezekiel 43:5. He's talking about the spiritual realm. In the Ruach. In the spiritual world. Okay. He sees a temple. He sees something heavenly. But he's also seeing something earthly. Okay. He said, he said, the place of my throne and the place of soles of my feet, where I dwell in my children. Wow. He says it's in my children, it's in my people. Wow. Wow. Verse 7. Verse 7. Verse 7. Inner. Panimi. Inner. And he's basically saying in me. Panimi. The presence of my presence in me. In my people. He said, the place of my throne. No, it's not Michael or Kim. They're blasphemers going to hell. They're in the Beast Matrix computers. They keep doing this. That's why we can't keep them. We can't have blasphemers. You're not the place of God. God. You're not the place of God. We are. The place of my throne and the soles of my feet, where I dwell, the Mishkan Mikdash. The Mishkan Mikdash is within the sons of Israel forever. And you're not Israel. Israel's defiling his name. You shall not defile my name any longer with your false kings and your false gods and your harlotry and your carcasses. With your carcasses, you're defiling. With all your false kings of the beast, you're defiling. Bimotam. Bamotam, in your high places, you're defiling God's names. Wow. I gotta post this real quick. We're gonna get back to the English translation. And in poetry, in spiritual prophetic poetry of God, he's saying they're competing with me. They're competing against me. They're trying to race against me. They're like in a Freemason car race. They're trying to race their way against my way. They're putting it next to me, like lining up like they want to race me. In verse, I'm going to show you right now. And this guy is helping him do it. He's involved in this. He don't know what a peace treaty is. They're trying to build a third temple to start. All they know is heifers, cows. Right here, Ezekiel 43. It says, I heard him speaking to me from the temple while a man stood beside me. He said to me, Son of man, this is the place of my throne and the place of my soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. No more shall the house of Israel defile my holy name with their false gods and false kings, their harlotry of Rome, and with the carcasses of their kings and their high places Bamotam, when they set their threshold by my threshold, he's saying you're competing against God. You're competing against me. Well, you want to race? You're not going to win. You defile my name and your abominations of corpses, carcasses of the Roman eagle, even carcasses of bodies and animals and people. They defile my holy name in Israel with carcasses and bodies. Are you sacrificing people and killing Arabs in Israel? Are you doing human sacrifice in Israel? What are you doing over there? Are you doing human sacrifice, cooking people in Israel? You're not Israel. You're the devil's people. What are you doing in there? Are you in secret rooms that you say that God can't see you? Whether it's in the earth or in a computer world, metaverse, virtual, false reality. There are false Jews who are Satanists. They don't love God. They're misleading the people. They put the threshold by my threshold, their doorposts by my doorposts, right there, verse 8. They defile my holy name by abominations which they committed. Therefore, I consumed them in my anger and wrath. Now let them put their harlotry of Rome and paganism, Babylonianism, and the carcasses of your false gods and false kings far away from me. The sacrifices. You're doing sacrifices for people. I will dwell in the midst forever of my people. I'm alive in my people. I'm not alive. I'm not going to be. God says he's not involved in you. God is not involved in you. You're not Israel. God's going to destroy you. You're false. You have carcasses and bodies for your false gods and false kings. God is going to get rid of you and get rid of them because he dwells within us. 8 and 9. There you go. Boom. Bamotam. Hakir. Mezuzati. You see? Right there. Defiling the name of God. Abotam. Toabotam. You'll be consumed in wrath. I told you. I'm prophesying correctly because I'm going by the Spirit, and I just looking up Ezekiel 40 through 48. I'm just looking at Ezekiel 40 through 48 just now. And this is what God is saying, that you're going to go to hell. You're defiling his names. Are you doing human sacrifice over there? Are you sacrificing boys and girls and people for false gods and false kings in the beast? Yeah, God sees you. He's going to get rid of you. You're being cast away from God right now. So, and those who don't want to go to hell, run away from that and just receive this covenant and in faith and say amen to what we preach. It's all in Ezekiel. It's in Exodus 15:2, 1 Samuel 3:11 to 14. It's in Psalm 119, 174. Everything we preach from the Old Testament, Isaiah 52, and the good news we preach to you, it should be good enough for you. You're into works because of piggles, Roman pigs, and they like works. They don't like grace. They don't like Jesus Christ free salvation because it takes away all their power. Jesus Christ, who sets free Israel, Ben Adam Shomashia Rabbi Allah, Goalinu, in Lakat Kochata Pesha Mimenu. Kebesh Kodesh Telatam Sheha Elohim Ben Ha Elohim, Asha, Ashot Yeshua, Echad. Kol Ma'ashika Resha Im Debarim. All your works is evil and cholelim, defiling. You're racing against God, and He's saying this. You align your false gods and false kings, mezuzahs against me, and I'm going to wipe you out. Your mezuzah, your false mezuzahs, you're wiped out. And this is not a warning to them. They already know they're going to hell. This is a warning to Israel. This is a warning for Israel to not. This is a warning to Israel to not do that with them. He sees you because this is a spiritual ruach ma'asha biruach rucho kasho is all invisible, and God did it for us. And those who are doing works is renouncing God. You're renouncing God, and He's going to consume you, false Jews. You're cursed in your works against His works. You know you're working against God is what it, in reality, that's what you're doing. You're working against God. Carcasses, pigre, piged. Your carcasses you're doing for piggles. You're doing this for Freemasonry. You're not even serving God. You're not in God. You're not even seeking God. You're doing this for pigs. And 23, I gotta put it.